The email notification illuminated my phone at exactly 3:15 in the morning. Stephanie. Again. 5 years of silence shattered by her digital persistence these past months. I built a fortress around my new life in Denver, yet somehow she keeps finding ways to reach me. The betrayal I witnessed in our bedroom still burns like it happened yesterday. Some wounds time does not heal. It just teaches you to carry them better. I wonder if she knows I have read every message but chosen never to respond. Before I share this journey, where are you watching from? Hit that subscribe button and drop your location in the comments below. I met Stephanie during junior year at University of Michigan. It was during the Autumn Campus Festival, and her auburn hair caught the sunlight as she passionately debated politics with friends. I was immediately captivated by her confidence and quick wit. At the time, I worked part-time at the campus bookstore, where she frequently browsed through obscure science fiction novels, our shared literary passion. For weeks, I mustered courage to speak to her beyond basic customer service interactions. When she finally asked me about my dog-eared copy of Asimov hiding under the counter, conversation flowed effortlessly. I learned she was studying journalism with environmental focus, while I pursued computer science with dreams of software engineering. Our first date happened during winter finals week at a small coffee shop off campus. While snow accumulated outside, Stephanie spoke animatedly about ecological reporting and the power of narrative to change minds. I shared my quieter ambitions to build useful technology. Hours passed unnoticed as steam from our forgotten mugs fogged the windows. The following 6 months became a whirlwind courtship. We took spontaneous weekend road trips to Lake Michigan, where we walked barefoot along frigid shorelines discussing future plans. Meeting families came next. Her supportive, wealthy parents instantly welcomed me, while my working-class parents remained cautiously skeptical. She comes from different money, my father warned. Different worlds rarely orbit together permanently. But differences seemed complementary rather than conflicting. My methodical planning balanced her spontaneity. Her social ease compensated for my introversion. We filled notebooks with shared dreams during late-night conversations, travel destinations, future home designs, even potential children's names. Looking back, perhaps we rushed through important stages, mistaking intensity for depth. After graduation came marriage, a small ceremony at her family's lake house, with 50 carefully selected guests. A string quartet played Beatles arrangements as Stephanie walked toward me in her simple lace dress. Her father gave an emotional toast about gaining a son, while my mother maintained polite reservation. We danced under stars until sunrise, blissfully unaware of storm clouds gathering on our horizon. Our first apartment in Chicago's Lincoln Park neighborhood became our sanctuary. Though tiny with creaky floors, we filled it with character. Weekends meant treasure hunting at thrift stores and estate sales, gradually building our shared aesthetic. Our meager salaries stretched to make that one bedroom feel like home. We painted walls deep green and installed floating shelves for overflowing book collections. Career development accelerated for both of us. The tech startup where I landed entry-level work recognized my programming talents, promoting me twice in 18 months. Stephanie secured her dream position at a prestigious marketing firm, her environmental focus temporarily shelved for corporate opportunity. We celebrated each success together, financial stability growing alongside future plans. Discussions of home ownership and family timing became regular topics. Our social circle expanded naturally. Friday game nights with neighborhood couples became tradition. We joined a local volunteer organization cleaning Chicago's waterways. Annual camping trips with college friends maintained important connections. Life felt wonderfully ordinary, yet satisfying routines and traditions, forming the foundation of what I believed was unshakable partnership. Looking back, I should have recognized warning signs when Jake entered our lives. As new creative director at Stephanie's firm, he brought West Coast energy and industry accolades to their team. Initially, he joined group dinners with other coworkers, but I noticed his attentiveness toward Stephanie, laughing too enthusiastically at her jokes, touching her arm during conversations, offering professional compliments that bordered on personal. Stephanie began mentioning Jake with increasing frequency. Jake thinks we should approach the campaign differently. Or Jake showed me this amazing restaurant downtown. His name peppered her work stories, until it felt like he occupied permanent space in our relationship. Changes in Stephanie became subtle but unmistakable. New clothes replaced her casual wardrobe, more fitted dresses, higher heels, designer labels I knew we could barely afford. Her hairstyle changed from practical shoulder length to fashionable layered cut. Suddenly, gym sessions became priority 3 mornings weekly, despite her previous aversion to structured exercise. More concerning were digital boundaries. Password changes appeared on phone and laptop. When I needed to check our shared calendar, I discovered access restrictions. Physical intimacy decreased with plausible excuses about work stress and deadlines. Late-night emergency calls from the office became routine, requiring privacy in our spare room turned office. Social media raised additional flags. Photos appeared showing Stephanie at events I never knew about: rooftop gatherings, gallery openings, industry parties. Comment sections contained inside jokes between her and coworkers, particularly Jake. Location tags showed check-ins at upscale restaurants during supposed work lunches that stretched suspiciously long. My stomach knotted whenever Stephanie mentioned upcoming work events. Sleep became fragmented with dreams about betrayal. Friends asked awkward questions about our marriage. Everything okay with you guys, suggesting visible cracks I tried desperately to ignore. Self-doubt crept in as I rationalized her behavior as career dedication, convincing myself suspicion revealed my insecurity rather than her infidelity. Planning Stephanie's 30th birthday became my project of devotion. I took a rare day off work, arranging to surprise her by returning early from a fabricated business trip. Our apartment transformed under my efforts. Dozens of photos from our relationship timeline hung from delicate strings across the living room ceiling. I prepared her favorite meal from scratch: homemade butternut squash ravioli with sage brown butter sauce, a recipe requiring hours of careful work. A gift-wrapped first edition book she had coveted for years waited on our dining table, discovered through months of searching online auctions. Flowers from the same variety as her wedding bouquet filled strategically placed vases. Everything symbolized perfect thoughtfulness. My answer to the growing distance between us. The devastating discovery came when I arrived home at 2 instead of planned 4 o'clock. An unfamiliar charcoal sedan parked down our street caught my attention, similar to one I had seen outside Stephanie's office during a surprise lunch visit weeks earlier. Key turning in our lock, I heard unusual music playing jazz standards, rather than Stephanie's typical indie rock playlist. Sound of laughter echoed from our bedroom, her unmistakable cadence mingled with deeper masculine tones. Moving down the hallway felt like wading through concrete, each step heavier than the last. The partially open bedroom door revealed the scene that would shatter everything: Stephanie straddling Jake on our bed, her head thrown back in pleasure, his hands gripping her waist. Our wedding photo watched silently from the nightstand. Time slowed to surreal crawl. I stood rooted to the hallway floor, physically unable to speak. They continued unaware of my presence for excruciating seconds, until some subtle change, a shadow, a floorboard creak, alerted them. Watching recognition cross their faces felt like observing actors in some terrible movie scene. Stephanie's expression transformed from ecstasy to horror in slow motion. Jake's pathetic scramble for clothing burned into my memory permanently. The room spun wildly as bile rose in my throat. Every object in our apartment furniture we had chosen together, art collected during travels, books with shared margin notes, suddenly felt alien and contaminated. My lungs refused to function properly as Stephanie clutched bedsheets to her chest mouth, forming words I could barely process. Jake made hasty exit, mumbling excuses while avoiding eye contact. His cowardice only magnified the betrayal. Stephanie's tears and pleas to talk followed me as I moved mechanically through our home's suddenly unfamiliar territory. My typical expressiveness abandoned me, replaced by uncharacteristic silence. Inside, emotional implosion consumed me while outward calm prevailed. The following hours revealed affair details I never wanted to know. 6 months, half our marriage year, beginning during company retreat in San Diego. Hotel receipts found in email archives confirmed multiple rendezvous. Cloud backup contained deleted message threads with explicit content and future planning. Photos discovered showed them together in restaurants I recognized, even places Stephanie and I had considered special. Her justifications came between sobs, my demanding work schedule, emotional distance, taking her for granted. It just happened she claimed using passive language that absolved personal responsibility. It meant nothing, she insisted, though evidence suggested otherwise. She described feeling seen and appreciated by Jake in ways I supposedly failed to provide. Most insultingly, she swore it was ending anyway, begging for another chance at our marriage. That night, I moved to my friend Marcus's couch across town, bringing only essential items in hastily packed duffel bag. Sleepless nights followed as I replayed warning signs ignored over previous months. Physical symptoms manifested immediately: rapid weight loss, panic attacks in public places, concentration impossible at work. Complete identity crisis overwhelmed me. Who was Wilbur without the foundational belief in being a loyal, loved husband? Despite devastation, I reluctantly agreed to attempt reconciliation. Weekly therapy sessions with Dr. Seffens. Marshall provided structured environment for processing betrayal. Stephanie offered tearful promises to change, cutting contact with Jake, even suggesting job transfer. We established transparency agreements for phones and schedules, location sharing, activated permanently. After 3 painful weeks apart, I moved back to our apartment, sleeping in spare room initially. Friends expressed concerned support, though opinions divided on second chances. My parents remained silent but disappointed, having warned about compatibility from the beginning. Cracks in reconciliation appeared quickly. Despite agreements, I discovered deleted texts between Stephanie and Jake, innocent on surface but secretive nonetheless. Her defensive reactions when questioned raised immediate red flags. One night, bathroom door slightly ajar. I overheard midnight phone conversation with hushed tones and familiar laughter. During therapy sessions, her resentment grew palpable when discussing accountability measures. Constant anxiety dominated my days as I checked her whereabouts compulsively. Professional focus deteriorated until performance reviews reflected concern. Friendships suffered as social circles divided, taking sides in our private drama. Most destructively, self-loathing consumed me for staying despite continued deception. Each compromise of personal values eroded identity further. The breaking point arrived unexpectedly. While searching for tax documents in her purse with permission, I found hotel keycard from downtown establishment. Confrontation led to tearful admission of continued contact, though she claimed just friendship was rebuilding. When pressed further, her frustration erupted in cruel statement that revealed everything. Maybe you are just not enough for what I need. In that moment, crystalline clarity arrived. Our marriage had truly ended months earlier. We were simply performing hollow reconstruction. That night, sitting alone in neighborhood park watching sunrise, I observed joggers with normal, uncomplicated lives passing by. Understanding washed over me. Clean break required complete disappearance, not messy separation with ongoing contact. My decision to ghost materialized fully formed in that park. While physically and emotionally exhausted, strange calm descended as exit strategy developed in my mind. Watching early morning commuters board trains to predictable jobs and relationships, I felt simultaneously dead inside, yet oddly liberated by the decision forming. Research consumed private moments at work. Remote job applications focused on Denver tech companies where former classmate mentioned industry growth. Bonus money previously earmarked for anniversary trip transferred to secret bank account, established under my name only. Contact with old college roommate Marcus in Colorado confirmed temporary housing possibility while I rebuilt. Final preparations proceeded methodically when Stephanie worked late. Essential documents: birth certificate, passport, degree certificates, insurance policies, collected discreetly from home office files. Cherished photographs, scanned and backed up digitally. Valuable possessions gradually sold online, with cash proceeds hidden. Careful goodbye letter written to parents, explaining decision without revealing destination. Last conversation with trusted friend Marcus provided both emotional release and practical assistance. I will completely disappear, I told him. If she contacts you, claim ignorance. His concerned expression reflected doubt about my extreme solution, but unwavering loyalty prevented questioning. "Just let me know you are alive occasionally," he requested, promising complete confidentiality. During planning weeks, emotional states shifted remarkably. Chaotic pain crystallized into calm focus. Remaining love for Stephanie gradually replaced by determination to reclaim personal sovereignty. Unexpected grief emerged for future children never to be born, and holidays never to be shared. Yet relief mixed with terror created strange equilibrium, fear of unknown, balanced by necessity of escape. Execution day arrived when Stephanie left for a weekend marketing conference in Minneapolis. Final walk through neighborhood committed details to Memory Corner Bakery with perfect sourdough bookstore owner, who saved special editions. Elderly neighbor, who shared garden vegetables. Pre-packed essentials loaded efficiently into rental car registered under temporary license. Last look at wedding photo, before deliberately leaving it behind, created unexpected finality. Practical actions proceeded according to plan. Joint accounts accessed for agreed portion, not a penny more despite temptation. Resignation letter delivered to office with fabricated family emergency explanation. Shared subscriptions and utilities methodically canceled or transferred to Stephanie's name only. Prepaid phone with new number replaced previous contract device. The journey west stretched 20 hours with minimal stops for fuel and necessary breaks. Radio silence maintained with all social contacts, except brief coded message to Marcus Eagles have landed. Tears finally flowed freely on empty highways between Illinois and Iowa cornfields, witness to release impossible in Chicago's constraints. Each state line crossing marked both loss and possibility distance, creating protective buffer between past and future. Arrival at Marcus's modest Denver apartment brought mountain views so different from Chicago's familiar skyline. Spare bedroom became temporary sanctuary, while exhaustion claimed me. First night brought dreamless sleep, previously impossible for months. Morning realization, I am actually free, carried both terror and exhilaration as new identity construction began. Starting over required practical foundations. Small apartment located in unfamiliar neighborhood where anonymity provided safety. First day at new job involved fabricated relationship history, recently divorced, creating simpler narrative than complete disappearance. New email addresses and social accounts established with minimum identifying information. Therapy sessions with Dr. Winters, focused on trauma processing rather than relationship repair. Identity reconstruction extended beyond digital presence. Previously clean-shaven face disappeared behind full beard. Short professional haircut replaced by longer, more casual Colorado style. Wardrobe transformed from Chicago corporate to mountain casual flannel denim hiking boots, replacing Oxford shirts and loafers. Outdoor hobbies adopted enthusiastically, hiking, challenging trails, mountain biking skills developing gradually, weekend camping, expanding comfort zones. When meeting new people, carefully edited stories emerged about past. Midwest transplant became standard description with family estrangement explaining holiday solitude. Chicago mentioned briefly as former residents without employment or relationship details. Selective truth combined with strategic omission created coherent narrative without revealing disappearance. Social rebuilding progressed cautiously. Coworker friendships developed gradually, limited to occasional happy hours rather than deeper connections. Local running club provided structured interaction around shared activity rather than personal disclosure. Dating attempts approached with transparent communication about trust issues without specific betrayal details. Most significantly, relationship with Emily, geology professor at local university, developed organically through running group. Her patience with emotional boundaries and respect for privacy allowed gradual trust reconstruction. Her own divorce experience created understanding without probing questions. For first time since Stephanie, genuine connection emerged, without suspicion shadowing every interaction. Professional growth provided unexpected healing pathway. Work projects consumed focus previously devoted to relationship anxiety. Problem-solving challenges redirected analytical tendencies that once tracked Stephanie's inconsistencies. Recognition for innovative solutions brought confidence, eroded by betrayal. Promotion to senior developer within 18 months confirmed professional identity separate from personal trauma. Finding purpose through career achievements built foundation for broader recovery. 5 years into new life, unexpected contact arrived via work email with jarring subject line, "I know it is you, Wilbur." Stomach-dropping recognition matched panic of original discovery day. How Stephanie found me emerged in message content. My distinctive coding style recognized in open-source project receiving industry attention. Her initial message combined apology, life update, and request to talk that reopened wounds I believed long healed. Physical reaction proved trauma, remained accessible, shaking hands, racing heart, cold sweat, forming immediately. Reading her words transported me instantly back to Chicago bedroom doorway, momentarily erasing 5 years of careful reconstruction. Emily found me staring at computer screen unresponsive to her questions, until gentle touch broke dissociative state. Persistent outreach followed despite my complete silence. Weekly emails escalated in emotional intensity from professional tone to increasingly desperate pleas. Social media accounts discovered despite privacy settings and name variations. Contact attempts through mutual former friends revealed active investigation into my whereabouts. Most alarmingly, letter arrived at workplace, marked personal and confidential, forcing explanation to concerned office manager. Message content revealed Stephanie's intervening years. Divorce from subsequent husband, not Jake, but another relationship formed after my departure. Therapy journey supposedly creating insight into destructive patterns and childhood abandonment issues. Claims of personal growth and continued love despite my cruel departure. Increasingly desperate tone about destined connection and unfinished business suggested unhealthy fixation rather than genuine reconciliation desire. Emotional turmoil returned unwelcomed after years of relative peace. Nightmares featuring Chicago apartment resumed after long absence. Temptation to respond battled protective instinct to maintain silence. Discussions with Emily about situation revealed her concern without jealousy or ultimatums. Fear that responding would reopen path to past pain ultimately outweighed curiosity about Stephanie's life trajectory. Wrestling with potential response consumed quiet moments. Drafting emails never sent became therapeutic exercise, writing honest reactions without delivering them. Consulting current therapist about healthy closure confirmed suspicion her contact served her needs rather than mine. Understanding gradually crystallized that curiosity offered insufficient benefit compared to potential setback. Reflection on personal growth during 5 intervening years provided perspective. Intentional healing created foundation too valuable to risk. Trust rebuilt through honest relationship with Emily demonstrated capacity for intimacy despite betrayal. Professional success in genuinely fulfilling career replaced previous achievement, focused primarily on financial security. Friendships based on authenticity rather than shared history offered sustainable connection. Contrast between past and present self emerged clearly, no longer defined primarily by betrayal but by subsequent achievements and choices. Peace found in Colorado mountains versus constant anxiety experienced in Chicago. The person I became through adversity versus who I might have been without it. Genuine gratitude for painful catalyst that ultimately led to more authentic life seemed paradoxical but undeniable. Support system reactions reinforced decision for continued silence. Emily's unwavering support came without jealousy or insecurity. Her confidence in our relationship allowing space for processing complicated emotions. Therapist provided guidance on maintaining healthy boundaries without shame for protecting hard-won stability. Friends demonstrated protective stance against potential disruption without demonizing unknown Stephanie. Decision about contact emerged naturally deliberate non-engagement, offered cleanest resolution. Email filter created to automatically archive her messages prevented emotional ambush with each arrival. Brief formal cease and desist letter through attorney communicated unambiguous boundary without personal engagement. Final act of self-care involved blocking all possible contact methods, closing digital doors permanently. Internal forgiveness process developed not for Stephanie's benefit but for my continued healing. Releasing anger that no longer served useful purpose freed emotional energy for present relationships. Acknowledging her humanity without excusing actions allowed compassion without vulnerability. Finding perspective without reopening connection represented true emotional freedom. Life wisdom gained through painful experience transformed perspective permanently. Trust recognized as precious resource requiring proper stewardship rather than blind allocation. Self-respect, demanding difficult but necessary boundaries when violations occur. Courage found in walking away from harmful situations rather than enduring them. Building life based on authentic values rather than avoiding pain or fulfilling expectations. Proposal to Emily symbolized genuine healing ability to risk vulnerability again despite knowing potential cost. Mountains viewed from our shared home represented perspective impossible in flat Chicago landscape. Ability to see larger patterns from necessary distance. Understanding that ghosting represented not cowardly escape, but necessary rebirth protecting essence too valuable to lose through prolonged contact. Wounds transformed gradually into wisdom scars, into strength. Life finally experienced on my terms rather than in reaction to betrayal. The ghost I became allowed the man I am today to emerge. Sometimes the kindest thing we can do for ourselves is to disappear completely and rebuild from foundation. The past may search endlessly, but finding us becomes impossible when we have truly transformed. Have you ever had to make a clean break from a toxic relationship? Did you go to the extreme of completely disappearing like I did? Share your story in the comments below. If this resonated with you, please hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps others find stories that might help their healing journey too. Thanks for listening. And remember, sometimes the bravest thing is not staying to fight, but knowing when to walk away for good.